Hello YouTubes, as you can see we're in the train room. I'm taking a break from working on locos all the time because we need some essential track repair work. When I redesigned this layout to have two outer loops going all the way around the room, my wife requested, nay demanded, that we still had the inner loop going round. Which is fine, except for one minor inconvenience. That inconvenience being curved turnouts right there. This is not a giant locomotive, but check this out. You're supposed to be on the inside. Fail. Trust me, I've tried everything to get these turnouts to work. Atlas Code 83 curved turnouts, forget it. So today I'm going to remove two of them, that one and the one at the other side. The original plan for this section was to give me somewhere to set up trains, freight cars, that kind of thing. However, if we can't even get onto the main line because of these turnouts, then what is the point? I've even got a nice little local maintenance yard set up here, which you can only access through the inner track. So my updated plan then, because this one fails as well, not all the time, but enough that I can't rely on it. So I'm going to remove it from there, obviously all the way down to here. Replace this section just with a, not exactly a straight piece, but you know what I mean, a bit of flex track going from there round to there, so we don't have that problem. And the same way over there. And then what I think I'll do is just add in a simple turnout. I'm not even going to do two turnouts. I'll just probably use this section of track that I'll remove. That bit from there up to there. We can use that at the other end. I do have one bit of flex track I can use to go from there all the way around to there. And that will give us access into this area here. So we can still do a little bit of switching because all this works fine. All these turnouts work fine. The smaller Atlas works fine. That will stop there, so we can store a loco there. So this will be quite an industrial kind of area. So not all bad, and it means we can finally start using the inner loop. You've probably seen in the live streams, I never use the inner loop because we can't rely on it. So the big thing is ballast removal. That's going to be the hardest part. The track itself is only tacked in with little nails into the cork, so it will lift off, no problem at all. It's not glued down, thankfully. So let's get some water and soak it up, or soak it in, or just soak it for about 10 minutes and see if we can just prise it up. I don't know, apparently that's what you do. Let's begin by marking the areas we're going to be adjusting. So let's not just presume that we only need to take this bit off. The whole thing is going to have to be lifted so we can separate the track. So let's go this far back. No panic, I've got plenty of ballast if I want to redo this, but I do need to make sure I don't ruin that bit of track. So from there, round all the way to, let's go to here. That's hopefully enough. It's really just that section from there round to there that we're removing, but as I say, let's soak it all the way back to there. Other side, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing this crossover yet. And the main thing is I want to get this outer section usable again. So the join here is there, so let's go back to about here. And likewise round to there, all the way over to here, because this, oh, that's not even, I guess I'll just be vacuuming that up. That'll be easy to come off. Anyway, all the way back to here, because this bit of track will need to lift up a bit also. Tools wise, I've got an assortment of scrapey, lifty things. That is going to be used for removing the track pins. I've got another big thingy, I think that's a wallpaper, a mud smoother downer. Vacuum cleaner, of course. If things get really ugly, I've got a hammer and a big stabby knife. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Right, I need to get some water and spray this stuff down. Hey, let's vacuum up the dry stuff where we can. So I noticed around here there was a lot, so let's get rid of all that. Now, I shouldn't have to tell you, make sure your track power is off before you start spraying water everywhere, okay? Okay. I'd move my camera because I don't want to cover my iPhone in water. Right, we're going to go from this point all the way around to this point. I have no idea how much to use. Let's just get it nice and wet all the way along. I suppose technically it's only the very top surface of the ballast we want to soften up anyway. Because it would be nice to be able to use the ballast that's there, but it might be beyond hope at this point. So we'll give it a go. Right, I think that's enough. Oh my goodness. Let's give that a good 10-15 minutes to soak in, and hopefully the track will just lift off. Well, it's been a good 10 minutes. Let's see if anything is loose yet, shall we? Doesn't feel very loose to me. Oh, wait a minute. Let's scrape away the edges first. Oh, it certainly seems quite loose. Well, the bits at the side seem loose. Oh, this is going to be so messy. Oh well. Let's not dance about. It's going to be messy. Just deal with it. Let's shovel that there for now. Okay, now we can see a bit better. Oh, I've not done that side, hold on. Wait for it. Yum. Right, now is it going to lift? Bear in mind that I do still have some nails in there. There's one there, but I do need to lift it, but I've got nothing to grab onto yet. God, I've even got a nail stuck in the side there. I was trying everything to get this turn out to work. Just need to get underneath. How far are we coming? This far? Oh yeah, we're not actually removing this, but we're just removing it from there onwards. I don't care too much for the turnouts themselves. I'm not going to be reusing them anywhere, but you know, if I get them off in a reasonable condition, then maybe someone else can attempt to use them. Certainly not me. I'm not a fan at all. Right, that's me get 2 nails out. There's one down there. And one down there. These things are great, by the way. Right, this really should lift off now. Yes, okay. That's working quite good actually. Wonderful. Okay, so did I solder these on? Hopefully I didn't, because I do have an isolator there. Something's still stuck. Oh, more nails. Oh, another nail. No, it was just ballast. So I do think that I soldered this, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to get my Dremel and cut that. Actually, no, I don't care. I'm just going to get my big snips. It's going to be getting replaced anyway. This is the join here that I have soldered for some reason. I guess I thought it might help. So that's getting cut. So we've got one isolator there, which I'm not going to need anymore. So might as well cut that as well. The less I have to bend the track, the better. And if I have to pull it out, then everything has to get lifted up, so I would rather cut it if possible. All I'm doing now is cutting a plastic isolator, so that's loose. Over this side, are you going to come out? No, that's been soldered as well, I think. Or is it just really tight? No, that's been soldered too. Nothing but trouble. Okay, we've got that side out, the other side just pops out. We can remove this and throw it in the bin. I'll maybe clean it up, see if anyone wants to try using it, but I would not advise it. So now we can clear all this away. Thankfully, I've got plenty of ballast I can replace this with. Excellent, that's coming off nice. Can't remember. Yeah, I needed the extra bit of cork for the wider curve that appeared for some reason. But that's going to be fine for laying the next section. So I need to smooth all that down. Now that I know it works, what I'll do is move over to the other side, spray that down, and while we're waiting for that to get all wet and gooey, we can come back to this, clean this bit up, and size up the next bit of track. So we're going from this point down to that point. It's going to be so nice to be able to run trains around the inner loop again. Well, I can say again, I mean finally. I'm sure that was very frustrating for people. Especially those who didn't know why I wasn't running trains around the inside loop. Okay, that's nice and wet. We'll leave that to soak in. I'll go over to the other side, get that cleaned up, and then I'll see you when it's ready to start putting new track down, okay? I just had one of those eureka moments. Let me know if this is a good idea. Actually, there's no point in me asking that, because I will already have done it, or not done it, by the time you see this video. I'll show you anyway. Do you think it would make more sense for me to remove this, but not keep that line, just keep this line? Connect a track from this point all the way around to there. Remove all of this, all the way up, so we're just keeping the inside line. So this one will now connect directly to there. And that means we've still got access to our little local maintenance yard without having to do another set of switches, and we increase the amount of space we've got on the inside of the layout. I am going to mull over that idea, and you will find out what I decide when I bring you back. Mulling over is complete. I have made my decision. There's no turning back now. I decided to remove the innermost line. So we have a massive mess to clean up, but this is just going to work so much better for my needs. So that will connect to there. Train can come along, it can go into the local maintenance yard, or it can continue and then just join from there around to there. Makes life so much easier. Trains should work. I'm just delaying this whole tidying up thing because that's a huge mess and I don't know where to put it. And I need to somehow clean off that track so I can use it again. There's nothing wrong with it other than being covered in old ballast. So I might put that aside for now because I don't need it for the rest of this project, but I don't want to just throw it out. Okay, I will return with a nice clean track and we can get the final sections of track on and get running trains again, although I will have to ballast at some point. Cleanup operation is complete, mostly. So I have trimmed the track there straight, left enough room to get a couple of rail joiners on, and the same at the other side. Trimmed it. There's already a rail joiner on that side. Need to find a few more. Trimmed that one back a little bit as well. Obviously there's going to be some ballast underneath, but if I kind of wiggle it and push it down, it should squish the ballast into submission. So it's really just two sections of track I need to figure out. So I've got a section there, flexi track obviously, or flex track, and a giant section there. So I've got plenty. Let's get it done. I planned ahead and I have got a section of rail cut to size, perfect size with a bit of luck. Just need to trim off that end. It's a wee bit slopey. I want that smooth. Okay, I think that's better. Yeah, a bit less pointy, more level. Right, let's get this in here. Okie dokie, and with a bit of luck, if I've cut it to the right length, we should be able to get a nice curve here. Not too bad. I'm obviously going to have to take a bit of time and make sure that yeah, I've got a slight gap in the track, which I'm perfectly fine with. Expansion and all that. So I'm going to pin this down as best I can. At least I can recycle the pins that were removed earlier on. So obviously we've got a bit of a crease or a pinch there. We need to sort that out. But we could probably do that with a bit of solder, to be honest. Maybe worth doing that first. Because the last thing I want is a corner at the joint. So yeah, I'm going to go and fire up the soldering iron. Get that joint nice and straight. And then I'll pin the rest. Now I'm sure you can see the corner that we've created here. However, if I straighten it like this, and then get some solder on the outsides, outside there, then it should keep it straight. Wish I brought a little implement for putting the flux on, but I'll need to use this cocktail stick that's just kind of lying about. See, I need to solder with this hand, hold with that hand, and feed the solder in with the other hand. Oh, wait. This could work. Yeah, look, see, I've got spare fingers. Let's give it a shot. I do have my soldering iron rather hot. That side isn't actually too bad, to be honest. I do have a big gap there, unfortunately. But what we can do is we can feed the track through from the other side. So we're taking a bit from the other side, adding a bit here, even out the gap kind of deal. Right, what was I doing? Oh yeah, three hands thing. Yeah, tricky. Might even have to do this one left-handed. Let's try it this way. Yeah, that should be about right there. Nice and hot. Feed in the flux. Outside of the track only. With a bit of luck, that'll stay straight. That looks pretty good to me. Well, when I say straight, I want a slight curve anyway, because it is on a bend. But I don't want a corner. I think that looks all right. Right, I think we can continue. Tell you what I'm going to do. I know this seems crazy, but I'm going to add a bit of flux in that gap, just to fill it up, and then I can grind it down. As long as it doesn't heat up so much that it spoils the joins that I've made. This is a terrible idea. Oh, that's not bad actually. So I can grind that down with a Dremel, make it smooth. Cool, I'm happy with that. So now I just need to take a bit of time, figure out where I'm going to put these pins, because I don't want the same problem at that side with a corner, you know, kink in the track and all that. So that kind of needs to be pushed that way just a little bit, which, as I mentioned before, does kind of push it out over the road bed. So I'll play about with that, smooth that down, and then I'm going to grab a wee loco, send it round, make sure it's going to make it. But before I put a loco on it, I'm going to do the other side as well, so we'll see in about 3 hours. New track is all now installed. Ballast is mostly cleaned out the way, of the rails at least, and we've got our little Santa Fe coming to test the new track. Don't worry, Santa Fe. You can go a wee bit faster. I think it'll be okay. Come on. There he goes. Not a single click at that one. That's nice. What about this one? Are you going to be click-free? Very slight hint of a little clickety-clack, which I'm fine with. Adds to the realism. Let's speed up a bit, we'll be here all day. It is a noisy local, so don't worry about that. That's not actually grinding on the track. That's just an Atlas yellow box. They all sound like that. Right, we're approaching the next new section of track. Very slight clickety-clack, nothing to write home about. Lovely, excellent. Phew! That was too easy. Let's try something bigger. And it doesn't get any bigger than this. Union Pacific DD40. Now this currently I think is a 19-inch radius. Hopefully it doesn't get any sharper than that. Here we go, here we go. First truck over, second truck over, first truck, second truck. This could open a whole new avenue of train running for me, because I never ran anything this big round the middle because of those points. And if this thing makes it round, then come on, anything will. Because those four wheels there, those four axles, they're on a line. There's no articulation there. Okay, coming up to the final test. Good there. Good there. And finally, are we going to stay in the track? Oh, fully successful. Oh my goodness. So happy. Game changer. So we can finally run the inner loop on the live streams, and I can just run it in general, enjoy more of the track. Talking of which, I need to enjoy more of that part of the track. Since I'm in a kind of scenic sort of mood, I'm going to get back to this lake area and get that finished, because then we have to get back to this area and do the moving car system. So much to do. Thank you all for hanging in there. I'm really pleased I got that working. So, in conclusion, Atlas Code 83, curved turnouts, don't do it, it's not worth it. I'm sure there's other curved turnouts that do the job just fine, but overall I've not been happy with Atlas Code 83, and I won't be using it on the next layout. Don't worry, that won't be for ages. Anyway, take care everyone, see you soon. Success.